Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a new episode of Max Talks Movies. And today we have finally back to the movie world, a new movie review. Disney Plus movie Artemis Fowl was just released today on Disney Plus. The movie is an hour and 35 minutes. The film is about Artemis Fowl, who's a young criminal prodigy who hunts down a secret society of fairies to find his missing father. The film stars Frida Shaw in his first ever role, Laura McDowell, Josh Gad, Colin Farrell, and Judi Dench. And the film is also directed by Kenneth Branagh. If you are new here to Max Talks Movies, on the channel, we just talk movies, TV shows, streaming platforms. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button on the video if you'd like more information in any of those things there. Also, if you've seen Artemis Fowl, are you interested? Did you like the movie? If you haven't seen Artemis Fowl, are you interested in seeing Artemis Fowl? And also, I have not read the books. Have you read the books? If you've read the books, tell me, does this compare well to the book, or does this completely miss the mark? So, now into my review. This is how it works. I go to my positives, I go into my negatives, and then I give you my score out of 5 stars and a percentage number. So I was actually pretty intrigued by this movie. This movie was actually supposed to come out last summer. They got pushed to March, and then because of the pandemic, it got pushed to August in theaters, and then it just got put here on Disney Plus. I have somewhat enjoyed every Disney Plus original movie that we have gotten so far on the platform. In my opinion, the weakest one so far is Noelle, which I actually talked about yesterday in my Love Life review because Anna Kendrick is in Love Life and starring in Noelle, and I still enjoyed Noelle for the most part. So I was still believing that this platform could be really good for Disney Plus original. I haven't been disappointed yet. I haven't seen anything terribly bad yet on the streaming service. So, and the cast was there, the director was there, and the production value was certainly there. So I was really pumped to see the film. I also have never read the book, so I can't compare this to the book, but I've heard so many people really talk about the books in very high regard. So excited to add to now another Disney film using books to film. The only positives here, guys, this could be a very negative review, and I'm very sorry. I don't love to be super negative, but that's what this movie has come up with. The movie, this is a really, I can't even get into my positives. It'll just come up in my negatives if it is. So I'll just go into the movie itself. This is a really bad movie, okay? And I am really disappointed with this movie. I was excited for the movie. Kenneth Branagh, who is such a talented actor and a talented director. I am not the biggest fan of Thor 1, but that's not the fault of Branagh. I think that's the fault of the script itself. But I did really enjoy Cinderella. I think that's one of the better live-action Disney live-action movies we've gotten so far. And that came out 5 years ago. And Branagh's about to be starring in Tenet, which is the new Nolan movie, which comes out next month. So he is on a roll at the moment, and I was hoping to see if he could continue that, and he just does not here. This movie completely misses the mark on just about everything. And one of the things that I talked about in my Netflix movie last week, The Last Days of American Crime, the weakest part of that movie arguably was the runtime. That movie on Netflix last week was 2.5 hours. And for such a long movie, it had no character development. And this movie is trying to be a world build movie, a huge character development movie for Artemis Fowl, and a possible setup movie to future films. And all of that contained is only in 94 minutes. And that is the problem with this movie as well. It's a huge movie. The movie is so short that it feels so rushed. And the film, if it wants to be a world building movie, the film's going to have to take its time in its screenplay. If you want to show the fairyland and you want to get a development, an intro on Artemis Fowl and his father, you got to do that. You can't rush it. You get one scene in this movie before Colin Farrell, by the way, plays Artemis Fowl's dad in here. And the whole point is that Artemis Fowl wants to bring his dad back. His dad is captured. He has to bring his dad back, being captured. So, but we only get one scene of Colin Farrell and Frida Shaw, who plays Artemis Fowl, together. They have one scene together, and then the next scene after that, Colin Farrell is captured for the majority of the movie. And this is also a non-spoiler review, so don't worry, I'm not being spoiling the movie. But if you really want to care about Artemis Fowl finding his father, that you're going to have to give his father also a lot of character development so you care about bringing him back. But you really just don't. You don't even know why he's being captured. As well as while you're learning about Earth via Ireland here in this movie, there's also a lot of different worlds especially mostly the fairy world, which is a huge part of this movie. And Laura McDowell, who plays the other main character in this movie, she probably gives the best performance in the movie. I actually enjoyed her character, Holly Short. She's 84. She's an 84-year-old fairy who her dad is very famous for stealing the biggest, most important, destructive item in the fairy world. And she doesn't believe that her dad was this bad person. So she's trying to change his name in that way. And she really tries to bring life to the movie, okay? And she really tries her hardest, but she just can't because her chemistry with Shaw is bad. And that's where I'm going to get to my huge problem with this movie, and that is this performance from Farida Shaw. Now, I am actually a big believer in child actors. I think there's a lot of great child actors out there, and this is actually Shaw's first ever movie. His first ever movie, he is the lead role in a Disney movie, and that is saying a lot. But he's giving a very bland, a very stale lead performance in the movie. You don't really care about him. And he's supposed to be this criminal mastermind, as he says in the movie, which I can't believe he even said that out loud. He just isn't. You're not rooting for him. He doesn't really seem like a good person, the way he's talking and interacting with his people who's close to him. You don't really understand why he needs his father. And it gets to a point where he also comes off as a Men in Black ripoff. His outfit is just a suit, and he wears these glasses so he's not getting manipulated by the fairies. But that's about it. His costume is just a Men in Black suit. And for me, that was a ripoff. Now, Josh Gad is in the movie, and Josh Gad plays basically a big dwarf. He plays a taller dwarf. He can't fit in with his dwarf kind because he's tall. He's not very short. But also, the movie starts out with him being captured and him telling the story of the movie. He is basically in this movie literally for just exposition. He's doing a Batman voice, a really deep voice, and he's in there staring into the camera telling you guys the voice. He's telling you, Artemis Fowl is this. And it doesn't make any sense. And I hate when we're being told exposition instead of shown. This movie is $125 million budget. The film needs to show me what's going on. But instead, it's having Josh Gad tell us the story of Artemis Fowl. And you don't really care about Artemis Fowl. You don't care about any of these characters. Judi Dench, who's like the commander of the fairies, also gives a dark voice and a deep voice, and it does not work as well. Overall, guys, this is a real misfire. Easily the weakest and the worst film that we have gotten so far on the Disney Plus platform. And it's a shame because I don't think Disney Plus needs to go in this direction where they just dump whatever movies now at this point that are good or bad, instead of holding that off until theaters, just dumping it on Disney Plus. And that is not what a streaming service is for. Streaming service is supposed to be positive things, but it feels like they just dumped this right on Disney Plus. This film should have been out a year ago. And remember that scene, guys, in the teaser trailer where there's this white dress, Hong Chow is in the movie? No, she's not in the movie because that scene is completely cut out of it. And that was the most interesting shot we've gotten so far in the movie. And she's not even in the movie, and that scene's not even in the movie. Huge disappointment here with Artemis Fowl. It had the cast, it had the director, and it has some great stories based off of what I hear from the books. But this movie feels also way too much as a setup movie. If it was supposed to be a setup movie, you got to nail the first one first before we can start setting up possible movies down the line. I don't see us getting a second movie here in this possible franchise. Overall, guys, I give this a 0.5 star out of 5. This is easily the worst Disney Plus movie to drop here on the platform that is new. It's a 16% for me. Comes in last place of the year out of 3 movies that have come out so far on Disney Plus in the year 2020. It comes in last place, number 3. And in my overall list of the year, I have seen 33 movies now, and that comes in at number 31, the third worst movie that I have seen so far in the year 2020. Sorry, guys, to be so negative. Normally, I'm very positive talking about film and shows and all that type of stuff, but this movie was a tough watch, and it was a tough 90 minutes to get through, man. It's not very exciting. The action is not done well, and the editing hurts the movie the most. And the acting, as I said earlier, from Shaw really drowns this movie in just boring. So, I have another video still coming today, ladies and gentlemen. So, if you have not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Also, hit the notification bell there. You'll be notified for every video that comes on this channel. Also, give me a like on the video. The more likes I get, the more this video gets picked up by YouTube, so it's put on a bigger atmosphere. The more you guys comment, the more you guys like, the more you guys support the channel, the bigger and better this channel will improve. Later today, I'm going to be watching the new Netflix original film directed by Spike Lee called The Five Bloods. Once I'm done watching that movie, it will be right here on YouTube in a review fashion. 2 big movie reviews today. I was really excited. Not a good start to my Friday, but I've heard some really good things about The Five Bloods. Really excited to get into it. Once again, leave a comment down below. Have you seen Artemis Fowl? What are your thoughts of Artemis Fowl? If you're a book reader, did you enjoy the movie, or did you think the movie completely missed on what the book was offering? And are you still interested in Artemis Fowl? And if you have Disney Plus, are you going to check this one out? The Five Bloods review still to come today. I'll talk to you guys later today.